here with doop, 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 everything in alignment. Letting our shoulders hang, relax away from our ears. So much of our tenseness, is off balancing. We'll feel really tense in some place and trying to do something really fast, and we're anxious, and then we end up tripping or falling or something happens. So let's find a sense of relaxation, kind of a flow in our bodies. It's the same thing they say, like when someone is drunk, right? They are so loose in their muscles that they end up not having, hey, Josephine, the injuries that the other people do that are not drunk, right? And then not saying that once you go drink and get drunk, but that is about being flexible and kind of letting your body go. Hey, Josephine, we're just starting in the chair, and it is Pam and Shelley that's here right now.
Hi.
And just you brave soul on the Zoom today. I know Lori's at the chiropractor today. So let's go ahead and just find our seats. And we'll start with really some basic stretching, I think, to begin with. So let's go ahead and lift our arms up, inhale, rise on up. And on an exhale, let's take left foot out and left arm down. And let's take ourselves over to that left side. Yeah, and just stretch in. And this upper arm can be here at your shoulder, can be down at your hip, okay? Does not have to be here. We're still getting a lot of this, right? And then go ahead, bring that leg in, arms up. And let's do a little hop with both feet up off the ground. Good. And then take the right leg out. And let's come on down to that side arm here or on your hip, or it can come over, right? That's the third option. That's not the ultimate goal, right? We want to feel that opening here. We can do that with or without that arm. And bring yourself back up. Right here, hop up on both feet, pull down, lift up. Good. Let's do that again. Come on out to one side. Come on over. Let your breath release your body more to that side. And again, arm wherever feels good to you. Let your head go. Let it say that it can relax too. And then take yourself up, arms up, and feet up, pull down. Send it back up, good. One more time to this side, take it on out, hand down, leaning over here, especially if you have your hand here at the hip or shoulder, you can take that upper body and turn it back a little bit more. Sometimes when we have our arm here, that's harder to do, okay? And then rise up, arms up, and hop up, pull down. Good. All right, now I've warmed up already just doing that. So this jacket can come off. Ooh, finally, good to do that. All right, good. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of strengthening. And we're going to take out our right leg. And we're just going to take arm, hand up, tap on the top of the hand to our shin, bring it on down, arm out, lift, tap, and let's keep repeating that. Just crossing that center line, right? And this is good for the dance that we do, feeling light on our feet, right? It's good, Josephine. Good, Shelly and Pam. There you go. And you can go as fast or as slow as you want. So if I choose to go fast, right, I am going to increase my cardio. If I go slow, I'm going to get into the little tiny muscles. You feel that in your gut area here, right? So taking ourselves slow has benefit. Taking ourselves fast has other benefits, right? And as I do this, I feel myself twisting at my waist. And I'm going to slow it down. Extend, touch, release, extend, touch, and release. Good. All right, let's go ahead and do some seated kind of jumping jacks here. All right. So our legs are out, knees out, heels in, and we're gonna lift our arms up, inhale. And as we do, we clap up, bring your feet together. Take it down, all the way, legs open, come on up and down. You can take your legs, your feet higher off the ground, or you can scoot them, okay? You can scoot them higher. Yeah, more of that. Are you all right? Anytime we use those big limbs. And taking it down lower. Maybe we get into the stretch part of it a little bit more. Either way, it's cardio because our arms are coming up and over our head. And we're using our middle to maintain ourselves fairly upright. There we go. Good. Let's take and slide down one side. Lift the other arm up just to hip or shoulder. And then come on up. Take it on down. Repeat a few more times with your breath. Now I want us to just get into our own breath and our own movement and our own body's ability to open up. Hearing that oceanic sound of our breath. One more time each side. Good. Let's go and walk our legs together so that the inner part of our legs touch, our inner feet touch, and we're going to take ourselves forward with the torso weight. Okay, arms are here. Press weight into your feet. Okay, keep pressing forward. See if you're able to take your seat out of the seat. It's not as easy because we have our feet together. Come on back. If you found that really difficult, just open up your feet a bit. You're going to see how having our feet in the same line as our hips really will help us with strengthening and balance. Pull yourself forward, let yourself come off the chair, make sure it's there. Come on back down. Keep going with either legs apart or trying that difference of having them together and see why we were made the way we were made, because it makes everything a lot easier. Two more, whichever you choose. Strengthening in these big muscle groups will really help your balance. Bring yourself on down. Good. I don't know about you guys, but I am warming up. Let's go ahead. Take our arms on up. Inhale. And from here, let's get into a twist. You can have your legs together. You can have them a little bit separate. Go ahead and take one hand to one side. The other hand comes to the back of your chair, maybe. And you take a look over that back shoulder. Find yourself twisting in that waistline. Keep a length in your spine. Start to slowly unwind out of that. Lift both arms up, inhale. And exhale, let's take it into the other side. First, finding length. And then coming on over. rewind or unwind. And let's lift ourselves up. Pull on down, find your cactus arms. Good. Come on up. And now we're going to go from chair pose here. This is chair pose, really sturdy, steady. Okay, we're in kind of a mountain bottom half of our body, upward salute here. And then we're going to lift and kick ourselves out into goddess. Okay, yeah, even that goddess. And then as we lift, the legs come up, bring them back together into chair. Lift and goddess. Upward and chair. We're going to do this standing in a moment. Goddess and chair. One more time, goddess and chair. Good. And now just bring yourself into goddess and bring that spine forward. Lift yourself off the chair and bring yourself into standing here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it down. And you can still stay in the chair if that works better for you. So goddess is very stable, right? One more time. And lift up. And exhale, hands down. Go ahead and walk your feet in so that they come underneath our hips. You guys can either stand on that mat with the chair, or you can just pull yourself a little bit away from the mat. We're not going to move a lot right now. So you can switch whatever you want, mat or carpet. Because we're going to just go from this chair pose, which is again very strengthening for the lower body. And then we're going to come into goddess. We'll come back into chair. We'll go into goddess. We're going to switch sides, okay? So arms rise up. We bend our knees into chair, and you can keep the hands here in cactus or on your hips, okay? We're really working the lower part of our body. So find what works for you. From here, we're going to step out 1 foot, take it out, toes out, heels in, take it down, goddess. Good. Then you come back in, center, come into chair. Chair can also be right here. Chair can be here. Chair can be up. Does not have to be, okay? And then we come on up, inhale. The other side, over. Come into your foot awareness, all right? Becoming aware where our feet are. In goddess, the toes are out, heels are in. And then we're going to step back to parallel feet, toes forward. Come into that chair pose. Hands here, 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 or here. Feeling this hopefully in your glutes, rise on up. Let's do one more time, each side and in the center. Step out, foot awareness, toes out, heels in. Come on down. Good. And then rising up, hands here, here, back into right under our knees. Come into your chair. Wherever those hands are gonna go. And then lifting. And come into your cactus arms, goddess arms. Yep, good. Bring yourself back. Arms here or here. One more chair pose. Nice. Then rise on up. Good. And now we're going to do something without the chair. If you feel you're going to need the chair, we'll take it and we will definitely go back and use the chair. But we're going to do a little tick-tock back and forth on our legs. We're going to do a little bit of dancing like Rain Man. You guys ever saw Rain Man? So what we're going to do is just take and tick back and forth. Your hands can be here on your hips. That's a nice, symmetrical, stable way to be. And we don't have to necessarily kick that leg out. We just step on one, press, come to the toe, and then lift off. Okay? So press down, come to the toe, lift off,
Take it down. So maybe a little more thoughtful, right, than just throwing that leg up there. And again, a chair will be available to you anytime you want to use it. Let's do one more time each side. This is really strengthening into that side hip and your glute. Good, all right. And let's take some hip circles. The center part of our body, this pelvic region, is also so vital for our balance. To keep it nice and open and flexible. Go around the other way, other way. Good. And just as we tick-tocked left and right, now we're going to do the Rain Man dance. Okay, you guys ever saw Rain Man, right? This is how he danced. Here and back, right? Here and back. This is his dance. So take one foot forward. Come back to the other. And he danced just like this. So we're only keeping, let's keep one foot back, the other one forward. We're not even going to get too complicated and switch those out. Just going to maybe raise that front foot off the ground a bit and then come into it. Take the back foot off the ground a bit. Bring it down. Raise it up. Use that chair. Yeah. Rain Man dance, okay? Whichever way you want to take it. Same foot lifts up, same foot lifts back. Good, let's do one more time. Nice. Now, obviously we need to switch legs now, right? So take the opposite leg back. Your body weight forward. So we're shifting weight forward and back. This is really hard to do if you try to keep your torso from moving, right? So move with your legs. Let your body weight shift forward. Let it come back. Shift forward with body weight. Let it come back. Holding onto that chair is great. If you need to, but let that flow come forward. Let it come back. One more time. Forward and back. Good. And then let's just be like little leprechauns, or those little dancers they call those Irish dancers that do all this crazy little stuff. Rain, what do they call that? Rain dancing. Anyways, go ahead and just pick one up and let that hip come out. Okay. And now let's do the opposite. Let's take the knee in, okay, across our center line. Take it down. Take the other knee in, across our center line. Take it down. Hands can stay on hips. Maybe your hands feel more balanced when you go like this. And we're going to take something like this, and we're going to extend the reaches of what we can do here in a moment. Really good again for legs, hips, waist, and then bring it back. Close your eyes. Have your legs separated, whatever distance. Let your body sway left and right. Think about how that shifting of weight is landing on your feet. And for you, your body, where does the shifting initiate? Is it initiating in your feet? In your hips? Are your shoulders the one that's taking you left and right? And then coming into stillness. Take a couple breaths. Right. Let's go ahead and we're going to work in a warrior two. Okay, and we're going to take warrior two to different places. Now, I may go get you guys mats because your feet are kind of slippery on the carpet, right? They're a little slippery.
I don't feel very slippery.
No, you know, if you have one foot on the mat, the front foot, you'll be okay. So, or the back foot. Or if you don't feel slippery, that's fine. So Josephine, just keep your feet from sliding away. I don't know what kind of surface you're on, okay? But just be aware of that as we move into this next one. So we're gonna go ahead and open up our legs. Toes are forward, okay? Yeah, good. Arms are gonna come out. And I'm gonna take this foot, you guys can just mirror me, and I'm gonna turn it outward, okay, towards the office there. My arms are gonna stay straight here. And I'm going to shift my body weight, feel that shift all the way over, over, over. Bring myself back into center. Shift my body weight this way. Bring myself back into center. And now I'm going to go ahead and shift here and pick up the ball onto the ball of that back foot. Really shifts the weight even a little bit more, right? Find out how much we rely on that heel to connect to the earth. Bring yourself back. So this is straight legged. We're not really warrior two. It's mostly a triangle pose. Pull yourself backwards now. Come on to the ball of the front foot. And feel yourself really connecting with this foot solid, that foot on the ball. And bring yourself back into center. And let's go ahead and bend into this leg. Bend into the leg that's facing the office. Those toes are facing that way. The knees going to bend in that direction, right? We're going to check our bodies to see if we're staying centered. Because our arm, well, let's go ahead back to hips. Come to your hips. Feel your body centered here. Okay. Then take your arms, if that feels all right, and spread your wings. Now take your weight on over. Good. Now take you and bend your front arm, forearm on your thigh, other hand to your hip. Rise up on the ball of that back foot and balance there. Yeah, feel how you really depend on all your muscles to kind of tighten up to keep that balance. And then place that foot down. Bring yourselves up, straighten that leg. Woo! Take the toes forward and just take hands on your hips and take a couple circles with our shoulders. Go in the opposite way. And then slide down. We're going to do the other side, but let's just take our mind off our legs for a bit and slide up. Finding that flexibility, that stretching into the side body for all the times that we have to reach, lift, pull, and coming on back into center. Arms can come back out. And just check into toes, and right to begin with, are they lined up parallel to each other? And we're going to take the other foot for us inside here, that those toes are going to go towards the back parking area, towards the ditch. We're going to stay here with straight legs to begin with. Let your body come over. We're not going to lift that foot off the ground or any part of it right now. Just let your body shift, feel how that is. Then bring it back centered and feel how even and connected you are here. And let it shift over. Take that weight back. Keeping the arms up is some strength for your arms too. Bring yourself back into center. Good. And then now go ahead, take yourself forward. Straight legs, come to the ball of that back foot. And find your gaze. Find a place that's going to keep you balanced. Okay. Really stretching through your arms, stretching through that back leg, strengthening that front leg. Foot comes down, body comes centered. Lean over to the other side. Still straight legs. Lift up on the ball of that opposite leg there. Good. Leaning weight. Less connectivity to the earth. Finding strength, finding balance. Bring yourself back, flat feet. Bend into this knee of the toes that are facing away from you. Find your body centered. Find your arms where your shoulders feel comfortable, maybe here on your hips. Take your forearm down to that bent leg. The other arm can stay on your hip. Rise up onto the ball of that foot and find your balance. Find a chair if you need. Or stay down on your heel. Have to shift, and that shifting was a message to our body of how we needed to readjust our weight distribution. Let the foot come down. Let your body lift up. Arms spread out. Straighten that front leg. And then bend one more time. Shift your body weight back. I think we did this on the other side, but we're going to do it here. Hand on hip, other hand down. Pick that front foot, heel up. Oh, yeah. Put down, arms out. Straighten, toes forward. Bring yourself in. And let's wiggle it all out here. Let's wiggle enough now that we're going to do a little bit of movement, a little bit of dance into those hips, and then working on our balance, okay? So, you guys remember the twist, right? Jelly checkers, I think it was. So, we're just going to feel real grounded here with the twist, right? You can keep both feet flat, and you can just twist into the waist. So good for our waistline, right, Josephine? So it was so funny. Once upon a time, she first started. I'm telling Anya. She wrote. She says, "You said waistline." She says, "I think it's been a lot of years since I've had a waistline." But not true, Josephine. Okay, so if you can stay grounded, now go ahead and start lifting up onto the ball of one foot, and you let your hips move, your knees move. That rotates a bit on the ball of that foot, right? Good, and then we transition back to flat feet. Take weight over, pick up the other foot onto the ball, and we find ourselves twisting here. Ooh, come back into center. Twist sometimes came down, twist sometimes came up. So let's do that a bit. Take it down. Take it up, take it down, take it up, take it down one more time, take it on over, good, and twist. Now, if you felt comfortable coming to the ball of your foot, if you want, you can lift that foot up and take a hold of a chair, maybe even, if you want, or just practice. How does that feel? Lifting my foot up and making movements, right? Because our movements demand that our body figures out how to stay in balance. Good, all right. And then let's walk it out. Walking takes balance, okay? When we walk, we have one foot lifted off the ground. Right, we don't walk like this, right? Shifting on our feet, we pick one up. And we usually take the opposite arm forward, right? when we're walking. And let's walk into our hips a bit too. Get that walk going into your hips. Yeah, so it's almost like doing a walking twist or a walking salsa. And release and relax. Let's take a little sway in our seaweed asana. Okay, so we can sway that upper body and we can see what happens when we move our energy in one way or the other. Yet we're going to stay really grounded, okay? So bend into the knees, toes out, heels in. Come on up, inhale. And here we can stay. And then here we go into right under left. Okay, staying right here, or taking hands to our shoulders, or taking hands and arms together. Depends where you want to go with this. Come on down, and we take and we flutter. And this is seaweed asana. Do you want to lower down those arms and your head? Do you want to stay to one side? And slide to the other side. Letting our bodies be free. It's nice to close your eyes and feel this because you are really centered on your feet. Closing eyes is a good thing to do. And even when you're practicing a balance, as long as you're safe and you feel like something's around you to catch you, closing your eyes every once in a while is good. And pull down. Exhale. Inhale, take it up. We're here. And then left under right now. Finding arms here. Finding arms here, 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 or anywhere in between. Let's go ahead. Find your sway. Find your groove. Find your way of floating that seaweed. Because even when the ocean is calm, there's still movement. Close your eyes. Maybe envision an ocean that you've seen before. You've been around, maybe the one that you're going to see very soon. Yeah. A beautiful Pacific Ocean. And then lift up, inhale. Straighten legs. Exhale, arms come down. Rise up, inhale. And exhale. Take those hands on back. Good. All right, let's go to the back of the chair. We're not there already. I'm going to go ahead and turn my chair. I think which way would be better for you guys. You can see me. Everybody doing all right? Can you feel it a little bit? Good. All right, so make sure that you're on a chair that does not have wheels, okay? And it's not on a slippery, slidey surface. We're going to stay nicely planted here, okay? All right, so it's just going to be better if I turn in the same direction you guys are. If you can't see, you need me to adjust, let me know. Not like that angle. There we go. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we're going to try something with that leg lifted up. And so we're going to do that now. We're going to utilize the chair. So both hands are on the chair. I'm going to pick up, let's say, our left foot so that we all start in the same way. And let's just see about keeping that weight on that right leg, right foot. And not taking your hands away from the chair. Close your eyes. When you close your eyes, I want you to feel how your body's swaying. Yeah. The chair is there and your leg is there. Leg. And place that foot down. Open your eyes and just walk that out a little bit. Here's your before, but the chair's right there. Good. And then eyes open, hands on the chair. Pick up the opposite foot. So that's our right leg. And maybe your foot comes up just a little bit. Maybe your toe is pointed towards the ground and just lifts an inch. Okay? We're not taking it way up over our heads. Okay? Not today, maybe next week. Just lift to where it feels right. And then put a flexor point in that foot. And that's going to help you feel stronger in that leg. And send energy in the standing leg too. Okay? Send energy into your arms. So everything is tight. Before it was kind of light, right? It was kind of loose. Let's let everything be tight. And then close your eyes. And feel any swing. Find where that is. Can we place a little bit different weight on that foot so that there's not as much swing? And then open eyes and let that foot come down. And let's walk it up. Good. All right. Go ahead. Lift that left leg up off the ground again. And again, we can be just at the toe. All right. You don't have to take it off all the time. You can be doing this, right? Picking the toe up and down. All right. And that's working on strengthening and balancing. So wherever you are, we're going to take the right hand more to the center of the chair. And remember, anytime we're using the chair, we push downward, not pulling towards us, okay? This left arm is going to go behind us. Right, so we come into a bit of a twist here. And now, staying just like that, or working little by little to release that right hand off the chair. Take a drishti, take a gaze somewhere that's managing your balance. Because now we have opposing limbs, different things. Place your foot down, walk it out. And then let's keep the left foot down. Let the right one come up again, toe, and we're practicing this, right? Or we're lifting and we're flexing, or we're pointing. Okay. Left hand comes more to the center of the chair. If you're comfortable with it, your right hand lifts. You can just lift forward too, right? That's less of a balance challenge, and it might be perfect for you. Or you take that arm and you stretch it back. Please take the necessary modifications and just find the gaze somewhere that feels right for you. Press down solidly into that standing foot as you find your twist here. Maybe working to take that other hand away from the chair little by little. Good. Place that foot down. So I noticed both of you were lifting your hand off the chair. So I'm gonna suggest the next step if you want to do it. Okay. So we're gonna repeat that. Repeat anything that you did. Go down a notch or go up a notch. It's up to you guys. Okay. So just wiggle those legs out. We never want to like lock into those knees. So solid, but no locking into the knee. Notice my knee has a little bend, and I'm taking all those muscles and I'm bringing them in to protect that knee. Shelley knows all about protecting knees, right? New knees and old knees. All right, solid on that right foot. Again, this left one, repeat what we did before, either coming here and pulsing or lifting or taking that arm forward, side, or back. Notice the difference. If it's forward, I feel a little more balanced. Side is the more challenging. Back, it's even more, okay? Because the back is wanting to take your whole torso with it. Only if you're comfortable, your hand lifts and you clap on the side. Lift, clap on the side. Lift, clap, down. One more time. Up, clap, and down. Foot comes down. Good. All right. And wiggle out a little bit. And you guys can design all these kind of weird little things to do at home too, to keep your practice going, to keep the strengthening, the stretching, and the balancing. All right, so I'm gonna keep my left foot now planted. The right again, maybe like this, right? Just picking it up. Or if I decide to hold it up, I really press through that standing foot. I flex or point through here, so this is active if I'm keeping it up, okay? Your hand comes to the center, this one forward, side, or back. Feel that difference when I go back. This hand plays with coming up. Maybe just take a clap. Good. And hands down, feet down. Let's take our feet apart just a bit and bend into the knees and just take some rotations of our hips with bent knees. And the opposite way. And all of this is about body awareness too. How is my body moving through space? All right, let's go ahead and turn those chairs around to the opposite way. Have the front legs at least be on the mat so that it's not going to scoot away from us. And you can leave the blanket there or you can take it off. We're going to practice into our warrior 3. Okay, I'm not expecting anybody to do warrior 3 today, but we're going to practice into it. All right, so take your hands onto the chair with or without a blanket, okay, whichever way is best for you. And we're in this kind of L shape, right? And I'm going to keep both hands on the chair. I'm going to slide my left foot back, come to a point. Start to lift that leg up towards my hip. Might not come there. Flex. Let me take circles with that ankle. Strengthening that standing leg. And even though we may not feel like we're off balance, go ahead and reverse. You have removed one point of contact from the earth. So that means the rest of the body has to work harder to keep you from falling. And then bend into that knee, place it back down right on the ground. And then the other foot slides back, lifts an inch or two, or maybe you get it up to your hip. Press through your heel after you pointed a bit, and then take some circles. And reverse. Good, and then place that foot down and just bend into your knees and walk that out. A little bit with the hips following. The hips be happy and moving there. Good. Now the other day, Shelley did half moon on the wall. We're going to offer that in a little bit, but we're going to all work on half moon working on the chair. Okay. So I'm going to take my hands to the side of the chair now. I'm going to take one foot up closer to the chair front, all right? And the other leg slides back like we did just before. And we lift that leg off the ground. Maybe you're here, okay? Half moon doesn't have to be with that leg way up. You can have the foot here. Right now, we're still in like a warrior 1 or 3 base. Keep your hands there. Just open up your hip. Open up your hip, point the toes outward, and maybe your foot's down here. Josephine, it can be really low, okay? You're just working to open up that hip. Take the toes outward. And you're standing on your right foot, is that correct? Yeah. Take your right hand to the center of the chair. Palm down, press. Keep opening up that upper shoulder and that upper hip. Only if you feel like you can start to take the other hand and just tap it away from that chair. Feel that? Take your hand down, close the hip, and place the foot down. High on the balls of your feet. Curl in, curl, tuck, and round into yourself. Really curling those shoulders forward and lifting into your lumbar spine. And then place your heels on the ground. All right, so you guys get what I mean? I didn't get it for a long time, so I'm gonna show you. Because I didn't get it, doesn't mean you didn't get it, but. So when I have my hip down, right, it's towards the ground. So it's closed, a closed hip position. This is open. Okay, so warrior 2, warrior 3 is closed hip. And when we move into half moon, we open up the side body, okay? And we take arm up or at hip, okay? So we're gonna try that again, and we'll see how we do with the other side. So slide, bring the opposite foot forward, slide the other one back, okay? Make sure you can see Josephine. Right, and from here, that foot just lifts a little bit off the ground or to your hip, right? Those are your choices. Toe on the ground, lift it to your hip, anywhere in between, okay? So it doesn't all have to be up at the hip. Pressing through our heel. Hip is down right now, it's closed position. And now I'm going to begin to open it to the right side. My left hand comes to the center of the chair. I can play with taking my right hand off the chair. Just a little bit. Maybe my hand feels comfortable coming to my hip as I continue pushing out through my heel. Finding that strength that now only 2 points of contact have. Hand down, close that hip, place the foot down, up high on the balls of your feet, curl into yourself, curl, tuck, round into yourself, and then come down onto the soles of your feet, bend into your knees just a little bit. Take those arms forward into chair pose. Rise on up, inhale. Hold down, exhale. Rising up. Exhale it down. Rise up. Exhale down. Good. And then find your blocks and find a wall, Josephine. Or actually, Josephine, stay with your chair, or if you have a wall, that would be good too, because we're gonna do a few things that you can make choices on what it is you want to do, okay? So keep your chair close. If you have a wall, take hold of the wall. You won't need your chair, but Josephine might need her chair. Oh, I don't need yours. Okay, so, and blocks, Josephine, okay? So, the other thing we're gonna do, and Josephine, you decide, okay? Do you want to have your hands on a chair like this, okay? Right here. Or do you want to have them on blocks? I'm not sure if you're okay with the blocks. Are they sturdy? Okay, that sounds good. And you guys go ahead and find this position too, right? That blocks on the ground. Okay, good. So you know what we just did on the chair, you guys were up higher, right? So now we're going to take our left foot, take it back, come to your toe, and then lift it up with a flex. And you come now into a warrior 3 trap, but you're lower, okay? And you're having to steady yourself on those blocks rather than a four-legged chair. Let that hip be closed. Now let it open. Okay, let it open. We don't have to leave our hands off the blocks. Just let the hip open. Bend into your knee. And that hip may open and your foot may only be a little bit off the ground, okay? But bend into your knee and take 2 circles in one direction. Okay, and 2 circles in the other direction. Good. And then let that leg go back to an inch or 2 or all the way to hip. You decide. Bring that foot back high in the balls of your feet. Bend into your knees. Don't come down too far, but just curl in towards your knees. Lift on up. And now let's take and slide the right foot back. Find a flexed foot or pointed and lift it an inch or 2 off the ground, maybe up to hip height. Close that hip. Your gaze is down, okay? Working on alignment here. And then open up that hip. You don't need to go anywhere, but just open it up towards the right. We're not taking our hands off the blocks at this point. Find that openness, find that stretch into your hip flexor there. Good. Close the hip. Foot comes down, rise up high. The balls of your feet bend into your knees a little bit. Curl and tuck and round forehead towards your knees. That's a balance right there. Balancing ball. And then take the soles of your feet down. Good. And so on that one, Josephine, I want you to practice that again, okay? Or practice it back here on the chair. We're gonna do it on the wall, okay? All right. So on the wall, you're gonna want 1 block only. Okay. Let me get in the middle and Pam, you turn towards me. And Shelley, you're good right there. I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 block down along the wall, right? And my 1 foot comes close to the wall, but not touching, but my hip does touch. Okay, that's gonna be my support system. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is just come down with a closed hip, hand on the block. And I feel my shoulder and I feel my hip along the wall. And Josephine, you'll just keep practicing doing the 2 blocks and getting into closed and opening hip, okay? And then bend slightly into the standing foot. That's just gonna help give you a little bit of a lift off. And then slide the other one back, take it to the wall, touch the wall, and begin to open up your back to the wall. Lifting that leg up, maybe the arm up. Seeing if both shoulders and both hips may or may not touch the wall. Just finding that openness, yes. That belief in yourself, and your hand can come and stay on your hip. Okay? Yeah, and just let this hip come back more here. Yep. You don't have to lift off at all, but just start to let your back come up against the wall. Yeah, and just trusting that wall. Okay, let me do this. Let's change it out, because that's going to give you extra height. And you don't have to get your foot up. That's not. Then you can switch out, Shelley. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just switch. Yeah. Yes. Put your shoulder to this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. And strengthen through this leg. Good. Pulling as much of your spine up against that wall. Yeah. Good. Hold on now. Yeah, otherwise you're doing something that's really hard, and that is only one point of contact. Although you got your back there, right? So that kind of will help. This one is easy. Makes it easier to put the 2 blocks.
You know, I have a really short torso and longer legs.
So let me do one thing here though, just to give you a little more stability. Try that.
Okay.
It might not be
Okay.
high enough, but it may be more stable. And if you take that left foot in closer to the wall, that might help. I don't know.
That's where I feel unbalanced.
Okay, then pull it out.
Okay.
And just begin with that again, taking the body, and you're gonna probably wanna switch sides. So just come over here, and I'll switch that chair around. It's easier with the chair, right?
Yeah.
You have to do that as well. Yeah. All right, you guys keep practicing that. All right, Josephine, that's good. Now, with those blocks, what I want you to do is just take those blocks, take your legs apart. Okay, legs are apart. And you don't have to bend down as far this time. Take the blocks down. Keep your back really long and straight. And you guys just practice up to when. And so you should feel really long in your arms, long in your legs, long in your spine, and then give a little bend in your knees. Come into this little funny squat. And then bring yourself back to straight legs. And then take and bend one knee, Josephine, stretch out this inside part of your leg and bring it back to center. Come over to the other side and bring it back to center. And you guys, after you finish practicing, you can join us with this. And here. And one more time over. And here. And then both knees bend. Inhale, lift. Both knees bend. And inhale, lift. And then take it left and right one more time, or right and left, opening up to the side part of the body. Good. Walk your feet in, bend into both knees, lift yourself up into upward salute. Pull down in the cactus arms, squeeze shoulders, and let our arms come down. And breathe. All right, I want to do a preview of something for next week to see if you guys even want to try it, okay? And you'll be working on a chair with this, Josephine, and I'll explain the options for that. May not want to do this, okay? That's what I want to show you now. All right, we would be on our knees. If you have no wrist issues, you would be here. If you have some wrist issues, then you're going to come here, okay? So you'll be in a down dog. And so you would be doing that on the chair, Josephine, okay? In a down dog, or we would be in dolphin pose, okay? But you're up close to the wall. And then you're gonna take one foot and slide it up the wall. And you're gonna feel a nice stretch in your ankle and your hip flexor, okay? So we'll start that. And we'll go here. And you may not go that high. You might go here, 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 and more. All right, so that's what we would start with. And then, little by little, that one foot up, maybe the ball of the foot, and take that other foot up. All right, so, yeah, good job. One leg at a time, all right, one step at a time, one leg at a time. All right, let's go ahead and just semicircle up here, include Josephine in the circle there. Yeah. And find ourselves with hands on hips. Just take 2 circles in one direction. And 2 circles in the other. Hands down. Nice up there. Exhale, hands pass into heart center. Bow down to your true teacher.
yourself, your heart, listening to our bodies, our hearts, before all else and all others.